I'm relearning U.S. history. Hi. I've been doing it for about 18 months right now. I'm on the Attica State Prison Uprising now. I opened my phone this morning because I needed a podcast to listen to because that's how I body double and I have ADHD, and I was listening to In Bed with the Right, and I landed randomly on an episode I haven't listened to before about the Moynihan report. Moynihan, like Penn Station, Moynihan, yeah. Named after the guy who wrote this report. Now, in 1965... Daniel Patrick Moynihan is going to write a report. It will be colloquially known, it will be known as the Moynihan Report. Full name is The Negro Family, the Case for National Action. In this report, he will openly admit that Black Americans, for 300 years, enduring enslavement, segregation, systemic oppression, both via society and legal routes, has caused a problem. He admits that, right? He frankly admits that. And then he goes on to blame single mothers, Black single mothers, for the wealth disparity, for the reason why their young children are getting into so much trouble, etc., etc. Now, this is before mass incarceration kicks up in the United States, but it is a tool that people will reference to incarcerate more young Black men. These are like the same young Black men who will be at Attica in September of 1971, when the prisoners take over the prison. And it's so frustrating because this man, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, he is the man. He born in 1927, born to a poor family. The reason why he is able to sit in Lyndon Baines Johnson's fucking Labor Department to write this is because of federal programs that helped bring him and his family out of poverty. And he goes on to say that no amount of federal programs is going to change this situation that Black American families are in. No, couldn't work for them the exact way it worked for him. No, it's a values problem. There is a response written to it by a psychologist named William Ryan, and this is how we get the phrase blaming the victim. This is also like, the Moynihan Report is something that like literally we use in the United States, the government uses to put people away in the movement towards mass incarceration, specifically Black and brown men. And I'm just angry. It's just layers and layers and layers and layers of white supremacy, right? And then I think about this woman who called a little boy the N-word, and I think about some of the reflections I've seen around sinners and about how a lot of white Americans descend from people who are really fucking violent. A lot of us do, right? It is just the nature of the history of our United States. There's a lot of white violence. And one creator that I saw that I now follow and I can't find, he said, it's pretty apparent when you see white American-made horror films versus Black American-made horror films and how the violence is levied. And I think about this woman calling the little kid the N-word, and how sometimes, because we white folk haven't dealt with our own white supremacy in our brains, the violence comes out one way or another. Maybe it's the Moynihan Report, maybe it's screaming the N-word at a little kid on the playground. Maybe it's shooting an 18-year-old who's running away from you.